Hello everyone. Today I am explaining about the AWS Kubernetes, which is a very important service in the AWS. So let me give you a brief introduction about me. My name is Rama. I am studying a BTech third year at KL University. As part of my course Solutions Architecting on Cloud, today I am doing a video about Kubernetes. So let's get started. So I'm doing a practical on running Kubernetes clusters for Amazon EC2 and at the spot instances. So in this lab, we are doing that running the spot instances and adding to that Amazon Kubernetes service. So let's get started. So what is Kubernetes? So by saying these points, I'm briefly explaining about the AWS Kubernetes. Kubernetes is an open source software that allows you to deploy and manage containerized applications. Kubernetes manages clusters of Amazon EC2 compute instances and run containers on those instances. Using Kubernetes, we can run any type of containerized applications using the same toolset on premises and in the cloud. Kubernetes works by managing a cluster of compute instances and scheduling containers to run on the cluster based on the available compute resources. Containers run in logical groupings called pods, and you can run and scale one or many containers together. So, next topic, AWS EC2 spot instances. A spot instance is an instance that uses EC2 capacity that is available for less than the on-demand price. Because spot instances enable you to request unused EC2 instances at discounts, and you can lower your Amazon EC2 costs significantly. So spot instances can be interrupted. What that means? Spot instances are cost-effective choice if you can flexible about when your applications run and your applications can be interrupted. So spot price. The price of a spot instance per hour is called a spot price. So let's get started. Okay, the outcome of the doing that lab is we will learn how to add spot instances to our EKS clusters using spot managed node groups. So let's get start with the practical hands-on. So I'm following these steps to run Kubernetes clusters for less with Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Service and Spot instances. So these are the prerequisites. First of all, we have an account in the AWS. If no, then we will create an AWS account. So this is the AWS management console. Already I have an account, so there is no problem for me. I can smoothly run the project. And next, sign into the AWS management console. I'm already signing into the AWS management console. This is the dashboard. So we will see the next step. So these are the steps. There are 7 steps in this lab. So we'll start with the step 1. So set up the required permission using IAM roles. IAM means Identity Access and Management. These give permissions to the users. So what extent to the a service can be used. So I am searching about IAM. So I am clicking on it. This is the IAM dashboard. So there are different tools like user groups, users, rules, and policies. For this lab, we only need the roles. So click on the roles. So these are different many roles which I have already created. So for this lab, I am creating a new role. So this is the roles. This is the step 1 in the roles. So for this lab, the common use case is EC2, and we will click on the next. This is the permission policies. Here we can search about the permission policy we will give to the user, and for this lab we will give the permission is administrator access. Oh, sorry. So for this lab, we will give the administrator access for the user. Click on that and click on the next. So first one is done, and the role name. This is the third step. In the role name, I am giving the role name like EKS underscore EC2 underscore role underscore date. So why date? So dates are used to easily access the IAM roles, in which we will use the IAM roles in the another services. So role name was EKS underscore EC2 underscore role underscore today's September 6. So this is my role name. So and then at last we will create the role. After some time the role will be created. Here we will see that role is created, and we successfully completed the first step. Then move on to second step. In this second step, we will create a Cloud9 environment. Cloud9 environment is an environment in which we can run any commands, or it is like an editor. We can run codes in any language. So search for the in the search bar and search for the Cloud9. In the top right corner, we will see the region. For the IAM, it will be global because we can access the IAM roles in any region. But these specific resources like Cloud9, EC2, those services can be accessed by different regions. So I am doing this lab in the North Virginia, that is US-East-1. So then now create a new environment. I am giving an environment name as Cloud9 underscore EKS underscore EC2. And EC2 will be automatically created whenever an Cloud9 environment will be created. So that will be T2.micro, that is a free tier. So no cost will be appeared, and the platform will be Amazon Linux. So default changes are there, so no more modifications. So review the environment name and settings, and then finally create the environment. So this is the Cloud9 environment. Then it takes a few minutes by loading all those editors and services in the settings that will appear in the Cloud9. So let's wait for some time. So this is the Cloud9 environment. In this Cloud9 environment, we will run different types of codes or run commands in this terminal, etc. etc. So step 2 is completed. Now move on to step 3. By creating this Cloud9 environment, we will get an EC2. So I am searching for EC2 in the search bar. This is the EC2 dashboard. In this, the instances we will get is running. By creating the AWS Cloud9, we will get the AWS Cloud9 some name of the EC2 instance. In this EC2 instance, we will change the IAM role from none to the IAM role just we have created. So add the IAM role by clicking on this, go to the actions, security, modify IAM role. In this choose IAM role, we have different types of roles, but we will give the name as date. So with the help of that date, we will search the IAM role like this. So we will create on the September 6 EKS underscore EC2 underscore role underscore September 6. We can easily identify the IAM roles without any delay. Then update the IAM role. So done. Updating the IAM role is done. IAM role is done. And then open the settings and turn off AWS managed temporary credentials. That setting will be appear in the AWS Cloud9. Click on the settings at the top right corner. In this, go to the AWS settings and manage temporary credentials are there. Turn off that. So third step is completed. Then we will enter into the fourth step. Enter this command in the terminal of the Cloud9. So copy that command and paste it. So don't worry about the commands. The commands are always present in the AWS documents, which is referred by many of us. This is the document in which in this we will have a lot of information about the Kubernetes and how the lab will be done. And now these are the commands I am running, and already the link will be shared in the description. So please access that link and do the following commands. So now I am running the command, first command. After that, there are three command line tools: AWS CLI and kubectl and EKSCTL. These are the command line tools which will be accessed through the terminal of the Cloud9, and we will set up those command line tools. In this first we will set up the AWS CLI, which is command line interface. So copy the tool. This is the link. AWS CLI will be downloaded as a zip file. So I am copying that command and pasting it in the terminal. So it was downloaded. Now we have to unzip that zip file. Then it will be installed. I am copying this command and I am installing it. It will take some seconds to install the CLI. So in the meantime, I am increasing the font size. Okay. So done. Font size is increased. Now it is easy to visible. And the second command line tool was kubectl. Now install that. Here we are changing the mode of the kubectl to the executive mode. So I am copying that command. So paste it. Done. And the third was EKSCTL, Elastic Container Service. So copy the command. And the last and final was to change the directory. That's it. And after installing, we will check the versions of these command line tools, because we will check the installation was done properly or not. So first one is done. Second one is done. Third one is also done. And the next step, create Amazon EKS cluster with on-demand node group. So in this step, we all are creating a EKS cluster by using this command. So in this command, there is a version of the EKS cluster and the name of the EKS cluster. In this, the name is like EKS spot tutorial. I am giving the name as like that, and nodes will be 2 and a region. Region I'm currently using the North Virginia, that is US-East-1. You can use any region, and the node type is t2.micro, which is a free tier. So I'm copying that command. So what is this? What is building cluster stack, deploying stack? I'm using the graphical interface. I can show you. So search in that like cloud formation. So cloud formation is a stack in which we will use the execute commands in the order. The same will be done in the same order in the stacks. Like a stack is like last in first out. In the same alignment, we will get the output like first one created and the next one. This is last in first out, like that. So for building the EKS cluster, it will take up to approximately 15 to 20 minutes. So we will wait for some time to create that stack. We can check the progress like this, create in progress, like that. So we will wait for some time. All right. By running this command, we will create a node groups and clusters, and we will see that in graphically also. So by running this command, we will create a cluster EKS spot tutorial, and in that cluster we created a node groups, and this is the cluster that is created now. And these are the nodes. This is the node group that is created now. So we will move to the next step. This command, copy that command and paste that. This is the command where we will get the status of the nodes that is presented in the cluster. So this is the cluster. In this cluster, though two nodes are there. And the next step, in this step, we will add spot managed node groups to our EKS cluster. So this is the so in this command we will say that in this cluster EKS spot tutorial, from this cluster in the region US-East-1, we will create spot instances. That node group is like spot hyphen node hyphen group. That the version of the virtual CPU is 1 vCPU and 1 GB, and the instance type is t2.micro, which is a free tier version, and minimum instances that will be created will be 2 and maximum will be 5. By executing this statement or this command, um, some EC2 instances are created. It will take some time, like 5 minutes more or more. We will wait for some time. In this command, we will use the t2.micro. So there is a reason for that. In the documentation, they give like create a EC2 instances. So m5.large, m5d.large. These are not a free tier versions. By using this, we will get paid, and there is an amount the bill in this in our account. So don't use this. For a free tier account, we will use the t2.micro. So this is almost done. We can see that in the stack it is a create in progress, and in EC2 instances also, by reloading this we will see the instances are increasing. By this command is executing internally by creating the instances. So we can see the status check like initializing. Up to 2 by 2 check passed, we will wait for the command to be executed and we'll wait for some time. So now we are in the last step. That is the last step, and some more commands are to be executed. By executing that command, we'll also see the auto scaling groups. An auto scaling group is like a backup of an EC2. If the EC2 instances are terminated, or like if the traffic is more to the EC2 instances, then the this auto scaling groups will automatically create the EC2 instances and will supply will be go on. So it is taking more time than expected. So we will have to wait for more some time. So in this stack, we will get the complete progress of the EC2 instances. But here you have to update the commands. So done. So now next step. By executing this command, we will get the details about the EC2 instances. So this is the EC2 instances status and the capacity type, that is a spot instances. By looking into the lab also, we are executing the spot instances. So this is the creation of the spot instances in the EKS cluster by using the Cloud9, and by executing these commands we will completed the lab. So this is the end of the lab. By and completing the lab means we have to delete the services which are we created in the AWS, because these services may cost you, and there may be a huge bill in your account. So we have to be updated and delete all the services which we used. These are the instances that are created, spot instances, by using the EKS cluster. This is the cluster, and this is the node group. And we will see the in the compute, we will click on the node groups. These are the details about the auto scaling groups, and these are the details and these instance types. So this is the lab, and I'm deleting those and deleting those services. So first of all, we will delete the auto scaling groups, because auto scaling groups, if we don't delete the auto scaling groups, and if we delete the instances first, and the auto scaling groups will automatically create the EC2 instances. So we have to first delete the auto scaling groups. By multiple also we can delete. So give delete. The status is deleting, and then we will delete these stacks. So delete stack, and we will get the progress delete in progress. So like this, we have to delete all the services whichever we used in this lab. Those commands will be there in the description. The link is there in the description, and the project is also uploaded into the GitHub. That is the link also that is also there in the description. So that's it. Thank you.